Recording from an undisclosed location in Sacramento, it's Jeff and Dave Talk Movies.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Jeff and Dave Talk the Movies. As always, I am Jeff.
And I am Dave, and we're going to talk some movies today.
Yeah, second episode, so it's pretty exciting.
Very exciting. We didn't kill each other.
No, we did not. But hey, we got Academy Award nominations came out this week.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. This is, every year it's kind of interesting to see what is going to get nominated for what.
Right.
And you watched this. You watched the video footage of the announcements, right?
Yeah, but I didn't watch it live. That was 5 o'clock in the morning on whatever day that was, and I was still staring at the back of my eyelids. So
Yeah, I can't think of anything I would want to do at 5 in the morning.
Other than sleep.
Well, I can think of something else that starts with S, but we won't get into that.
Right. Anyways, so let's talk a little bit about the nominees that came out, because this year I was kind of disappointed in a lot of the nominees.
Looking at these, I'm actually kind of super disappointed in what I see. I mean, there's a couple that I can kind of see where it's like, okay, good call. Darkest Hour, Dunkirk for Best Picture. Those were very good movies. I could totally see that. But I really have a hard time with the fact that The Shape of Water was nominated for Best Picture. I thought this movie was a dump.
Well, yeah, I didn't see it personally, and I don't plan on seeing it. But I mean, the reviews were great. But I mean, here you go. The Shape of Water is one of those movies. It's not political.
Yeah, that's true. It's
so
not.
So every year they have to have those one nominees that are nominated for pretty much every category.
Yeah, but why not The Greatest Showman? That movie was freaking fantastic, and it wasn't a big old dump like The Shape of Water. If you want to see The Shape of Water, get a water bottle.
Why not The Greatest Showman? Well, I mean, it doesn't sound like they'd had too many people campaigning for it. I mean, and so
this is
the
true.
Academy, it's all about politics, it's all about money, it's all about who's campaigning for you, and it just didn't get that big of a push.
That's true.
And it sucks. And not to cut you off there, but I mean,
no, it's fine.
I'm looking at the Best Picture nominees. You can go as little as 5 and as many as 10. They have 9 this year.
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed that Wonder Woman was not in there. I mean, that talk about a great picture that wasn't nominated. Wonder Woman should have been nominated, especially if you go off of box office draw.
No, this is true, and I do wish really bad that is how they chose the nominees, because let's face it, what's really the best picture? The one that made the most money, in my opinion. But I know they want to go more artsy and more political, but more of a statement type of movie. But I agree with you on Wonder Woman. I mean, let's look at it. It's a female-led movie. Mm-hmm. It's a female-directed movie.
Right.
And first superhero movie to star a woman.
Right.
And, well, to have the woman as the main character and to have a woman directing it.
Yes.
This is like total groundbreaking territory, which is something that you think that they'd love, because we've got Lady Bird, which was written, directed, and led
Greta
by
Gerwig.
women.
Yeah, Greta Gerwig did a great job with Lady Bird, and Lady Bird also filmed locally. So I mean, it's here in Sacramento. It's really disappointing to see that superhero movies have not made the Academy's list. And, I mean, for visual effects, sure, but for Best Picture. Acting not so much, but I mean, come on.
But you know what? I gotta say, the writing in a lot of those,
yeah, absolutely,
is freaking fantastic.
Original screenplay, adapted screenplay. Why not?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
Why go for? I mean, gosh, you look at what was nominated for adapted screenplay. I mean, we'll get there in a minute, but original screenplay: The Big Sick, Get Out, Lady Bird, Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
Yeah, I heard that was like 10 miles of fun.
Yes, it was. It was more like 55 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. But no, I mean, still some great performances, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm just still a little disappointed in Greatest Showman not getting there, Wonder Woman not being there. You know, and I think it's just about time when superhero movies get their due. You know,
No, I completely agree with that. I think sci-fi movies also need to get recognized more than just as a visual effects thing,
right?
or as, you know, soundtrack or sound design or something like that. These are part of the landscape. These are part of what people are going to see, and I think to totally just abandon and ignore them, you know, with the best picture or best actor or something like that. I don't know. Times need to change.
Yeah, well, they did, and they did for the animated movies. I mean, animated movies never really got their due for the same reasons, you know. And then finally, they ended up, you know, creating a whole separate category for it, best animated feature. So, you know, I'd love to see something like that pop. You know, maybe, you know, they expanded the best pictures to 10. So why can't they create separate genres in the best picture?
No, I totally agree.
You got to have one from each genre, at least one or two in there from each genre.
Yeah, and I think we need to have, just like the MTV Music or Movie Awards, that the people need to have more of a vote than just these, whatever, this conclave of people that are voting, that no one knows who's on the council.
Well, it seemed like after last year's fiasco, they would make some changes, but apparently they haven't yet. So,
yeah, they probably won't have a senile old lady read the Best Picture announcement.
Faye Dunaway,
yeah. She's probably not invited this year. Either that, or she'll have a nurse on hand.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it actually wasn't her fault. I mean, it was what was on the card. You know, and so they ever handed the wrong card by the.
Oh, that's right. They did. They actually handed her Emma Stone's card, the extra one, and that's what ended up getting read, and they just read the La La Land.
The La La Land, yeah.
Not the Emma Stone. So
things need to change with the Academy. I don't like the process. I don't like, you know, how they come up with these things. I mean, you know, we're missing two movies that should be in the Best Picture, and they're not, and it's really disappointing.
Yeah, it is super disappointing. You know, going back to The Greatest Showman, I'm really bothered by the fact that it is a musical with all original music, and it was not nominated for original score.
That's crazy.
Explain that to me.
If I could, I would.
Yeah, I don't get that. That really bothers me. The only thing it was nominated for was Best Original Song.
And that's insane.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, it's a great song. This Is Me. Wonderful, wonderful song, but I just don't get the, it's a musical.
It was, and it was also Hugh Jackman's passion for the longest time. I mean, he fought for that movie to be made and put a lot into it, and it just didn't get the due that it should have gotten.
Yeah, I mean, if I could eliminate one that's currently on there, we don't need a Star Wars. Star Wars: The Last Jedi does not need to be nominated for that. John Williams, great composer. I mean, you've created some iconic music.
Yeah, but what's original about it anymore?
Right.
I mean, it's the same thing.
So let's see. We have the Star Wars theme, which we've heard in how many movies now?
Since
8.
1977. Hello.
Yeah. And
there's nothing original by that.
There's not. So I would say remove that one and put the Greatest Showman in there. But I don't know. I'm really bothered by it. I will not be watching the Academy Awards. I just think it's a big pile of garbage.
Well, I mean, I'll still tune in just because I want to see who. And the other categories, I mean, we have lead actor, lead actress. So a lot of these I'm kind of interested in, especially supporting actor. Lead actor, I mean, nobody else should even bother showing up. Gary Oldman's going to walk away with that.
Gary Oldman better walk away. Actually, here's what I think. Get rid of everyone else and just have Denzel Washington and Gary Oldman do a monologue.
Of the ABCs?
Yeah. I agree with that. Or go to the F to sleep. Just have them read, And people, oh yeah, you know what? You were good.
Yeah. Gary Oldman's just,
Well, Gary Oldman better win for just the simple fact that no one knew it was Gary Oldman.
Right.
I mean, he became Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
And so, to me, that is the key. When you do not see the actor anymore, you get to totally embrace their performance.
Mm-hmm.
Another good example was when Heath Ledger won for the Joker.
Right.
Where, let's face it, that was not Heath Ledger. That was some tweaker dude that they hired to play the Joker.
Right.
And this is kind of what it was for Gary Oldman and Be in the Darkest Hour, where it was just like, holy cow, they resurrected Winston Churchill.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, you talk about actors who were just melt into the roles. I mean, that was definitely one that. It's going to be Gary Oldman. I'd be shocked if it wasn't him. But you never know. I mean, Timothée Chalamet and Daniel Day-Lewis, Daniel Coulier, and Denzel Washington. You know, I mean, who knows?
It's a good field. It's a good field. It could go anywhere, but I agree with you. It's got to be Gary Oldman.
Yeah, lead actress, we have Sally Hawkins, Frances McDormand, Margot Robbie, Saoirse Ronan, and Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep again. You know, Tom Hanks was overlooked for lead actor, in which he should have been nominated for the post.
Right.
I mean, I don't know why Tom Hanks was in there and not in there, and Denzel Washington was. Meryl Streep's in there, but I mean, you got to go Frances McDormand on this. I mean, if Meryl Streep wins, then there's got to be a.
No, I agree with that because she's a 3-time winner, and I think Frances McDormand's only won
nominee.
Once.
Yeah.
And she's been nominated.
Frances McDormand won for Fargo. Yeah,
and so it would be nice to see Frances McDormand get her due again because she's good in anything that she does.
Yes.
But you know what? If she doesn't win, I'd love to see Sally Hawkins upset the field because she did that was one aspect of The Shape of Water that I really did like. She had to, because she was mute.
All sign language, man.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be sign language and all emotion.
Emotion in her face.
And so, and she did a brilliant job with that. I mean, she was one of the highlights of the movie. Now, you know, going down to supporting actress, I would say Octavia Spencer also was a standout in that movie. But, I mean, she's up against Laurie Metcalf, Allison Janney, Leslie Manville, you know, Mary J. Blige, who was a surprise that she got nominated, Mary J. Blige.
It's always those surprises that kind of stand out, and it's always those surprises that win. So I'd be shocked if I mean, Octavia Spencer's won before. If she got it again, it wouldn't be surprising. But my vote's for Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird. Another fantastic film.
You know, I would actually agree with that, mainly because of her body of work. Laurie Metcalf, really, really great actress.
Yeah.
Good in everything that she does, and it would be nice to see her get honored because it's just, you know, we don't know how many more movies we're gonna. She's more of a TV actress, not that she's dying. Sorry, Ms. Metcalf.
Jeez, I mean, they're resurrecting the Roseanne show, so she's back on that now.
She is.
So I mean, that's all the original cast. But I mean, yeah, Laurie Metcalf should win that. You know, supporting actor. You know, this one kind of shocked me. Willem Dafoe, okay, no problem. Woody Harrelson, yes. Richard Jenkins, Sam Rockwell, who's my vote to win this thing. But Christopher Plummer and All the Money in the World, wow. Talk about a shocker. I mean, he last-minute replacement for Kevin Spacey, who's all of a sudden just falling off the face of the planet.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Christopher Plummer comes in 3 weeks, and boom, all of a sudden he's nominated for Academy Award.
I know, but you got to admit, that's kind of badass. I mean, come on. Goes in for 3 weeks and, you know, give him a microphone to accept that speech if he wins and just let him drop it on the floor. I mean, that's like, come on. That's freaking awesome.
It wouldn't shock me, but you know, I think it's going to go Sam Rockwell on that one.
Probably, but I don't know. Again, going to body of work, you know, we've got Christopher Plummer, who I don't think has ever won.
No.
I don't know if I think he was nominated maybe for The Sound of Music, but I don't think he was. I don't think he's ever won.
I'm going to look that up to the internet.
Let's do that. Ooh, to the Book of Knowledge. But you know what, Willem Dafoe, I wouldn't be disappointed to see him win. He's also a really good actor, but I agree. I think it's going to be Sam Rockwell. Because he was and is one of those actors that loses himself in the role. Anyone out there listening, if you totally don't believe me on that, rent 7 Psychopaths.
Well, here's a shocker. Christopher Plummer was nominated 3 times.
Oh.
Won once.
Oh, okay.
Won Best Supporting Actor in 2012 for a movie called Beginners. Won nominated for Best Supporting Actor for this year, All the Money in the World, and was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in 2010 for The Last Station. So no stranger to the Academy Awards. So sorry about that, Christopher Plummer. We need to brush up on our knowledge a little bit. But
well, he's old. He probably didn't hear us say it.
Yeah.
I know that's mean. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You probably didn't hear that one either. Director, best director. So Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan. Get Out, Jordan Peele. Lady Bird, Greta Gerwig. Phantom Thread, Paul Thomas Anderson. The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro, which he won the Golden Globe. But I'm looking at Lady Bird and Greta Gerwig, and we're talking about where the world is right now and the state of
this is true
of the lack of females in the director category. I mean, this would make a huge statement.
Well, it would be a huge statement because the last one that won, last female, and I think the first female, Catherine Bigelow,
for
The Hurt Locker, way back when. And so it would be kind of nice to see another woman win, but and I would cheer that if she won. I would totally applaud that.
Yeah.
But I would really love to see Christopher Nolan win.
Yeah, I mean,
I would.
I would, but I mean, honestly, I really want to see Greta Gerwig walk away with that.
Yeah,
award.
I would too. You know what? I don't care who of the remaining 4 wins. I just do not want Guillermo del Toro to win.
No, I mean, he already got the Golden Globe, so.
I just don't. I cannot express this enough. I hated The Shape of Water.
I mean, look, Greta Gerwig, original screenplay nomination and Best Director nomination. I mean, come on, walk away with both of those in your
you're good to go. You know what? And I would love to see. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love to see it rounded out with Best Picture.
Oh,
it
could happen. It very well could happen.
Just hand it.
I mean, it's who knows what's going to happen there, but it's definitely time for females to start taking over, and there's some great female actresses. Wonder Woman, hello.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with that. And I can honestly say to those of you out there that are listening, this is not pandering. I do honestly believe that it's time that women get more recognition within this realm, and more than just Best Supporting Actress and Best Supporting, and Best Actress. Yeah. I think, we need to see more producer awards. We need to see more writing awards. We need to see more women up there because there are some talented women that are out there doing some amazing things.
Yeah, no, I agree. Patty Jenkins, I mean, she definitely should have been nominated, but I mean, you look at a lot of the other movies that she's directed, Monster, The Killing, Arrested Development. I mean, she's got a great body of work.
She really does.
It's time for her to get her due. I mean, she did with that movie was.
Girl knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard they're coming out with Wonder Woman, I was kind of disappointed. I've said that before, and because I didn't know what to expect, and they could have screwed it up, and they didn't because they had the right person at the.
Well, it's not just that they had the right person. They had a person that completely understood the character.
Right.
That to me is huge, especially when it's coming into a superhero movie. Mm-hmm. You really need someone that knows who this character is, not just, the way their costume is and how they fight, but just like really gets into their psyche. And Patty Jenkins just
nailed it.
Yep. Completely nailed it. And for it to be the most popular of the DCU movies right now.
Yeah. It was overlooked by the Academy, and that's really disappointing. And I'm sorry, but I mean, just the lack of originality coming out of Hollywood altogether. I mean, it sucks. It really does. I mean, there's a lot of great writers and directors out there, and it's time that they start recognizing them so that they can start getting hired.
Yeah,
instead of keep going back to the same directors all the time. I'm sorry, Guillermo del Toro's a great director.
Right.
But I want to see somebody new in there. I want to see some fresh blood. Steven Spielberg's had his time, but I mean, look, he's.
But see, we kind of do have that, though. We have Jordan Peele and Greta Gerwig in there that, not really known. In fact, Jordan Peele, this is his first movie. For Get Out.
It's a great start.
It is a great start,
and they need to keep it going.
It's just the freaking studios need to take some risks.
Well, yeah, and they need to back off from trying to catch lightning in a bottle twice, and because it's not going to happen.
That's right. Yeah, just quit chasing the dragon and give us some originality.
Yep. Animated features, that's a no-brainer. Coco's going to walk away with that. Animated short.
Lou better walk away with that. Lou was brilliant.
I'm looking at Lou, but then I also see Dear Basketball, Kobe Bryant. That very well could walk away with.
I haven't seen that. Sadly enough, I need to watch that.
Original screenplay, Lady Bird, Greta Gerwig. I'm hoping walks away with that, and original score. I mean, I'm not even going to touch that because, no Greatest Showman. So, all right. So that's pretty much wraps up Academy Awards.
Some exciting things. We kind of touched on this last week, but I just can't get out of my head, and I want to see this happen so bad.
Sure.
The Quentin Tarantino helmed Star Trek.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
I mean, that's
going to be so cool.
Paramount, how much money do you need?
Right?
I will give you all of my money to see this happen.
Salary for that one, yeah.
Oh my gosh, to see it! I mean, I would love it to be Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta sitting in a shuttlecraft, talking about his trip.
Dude, I'm serious. Like every Quentin Tarantino movie, he always recycles his actors: Samuel Jackson, Michael Madsen, James Parks. I mean, John Travolta. I mean,
Tim Roth,
Harvey Keitel.
Oh yeah, can you see that? Something bad happens on the bridge, and here comes Harvey Keitel dressed in a tuxedo, hauling across Warp 25, and showing up to help clean up the bridge so that Starfleet doesn't get him on their inspection.
That'd be great. That would be so cool. No, but
and
as long as he has creative carte blanche, I'm all for it. I mean, the studio needs just to back off. Just let him do his thing.
Just let it, because let's face it, it's going to make a crap ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
Quentin Tarantino does Star Trek. Yes, please.
I'm all for it. Bring it on. Especially if Samuel Jackson's in it. I want to see Samuel Jackson with some Spock ears.
Say live long and prosper one more time.
Do the Spock ears, and he goes into his Leviticus monologue there from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. The path of the righteous man.
That'd be awesome.
Get Michael Madsen questioning some Klingon cutting his ear off. Can you hear me now?
That would be so cool.
Oh, it would be great.
It would be bloody, which is fine. I mean, but, hey.
But you know what, though?
Here's
the thing.
Star Trek's been missing.
We know we'd get Klingons in it because Klingons are the war race. Mm-hmm. They would be violent as all get out. We'd finally get to see Klingons.
Yes.
Like real Klingons.
We have not seen Klingons. We haven't seen what they're really truly capable of.
No, we haven't, and I believe the actual industry term is pussified.
Yes.
They have been, and he would turn them loose, man.
I mean, for sure. I think that would be awesome. I want to see a savage. I want to see some savages out there.
Well, and we would get that. We would totally get that with Quentin Tarantino, and of course, we'd probably get some of the language. But I know this is bad.
I mean, let's back off from the F words a little bit. I mean,
we don't need 20 every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see a little grittier movie. And that's one thing that I loved when J.J. Abrams rebooted it, is that it wasn't completely clean as they went down into the body of the ship. It looked more like a submarine or an aircraft carrier. I loved that. It wasn't like a space lab.
I love J.J. Abrams' reboot, but I mean, Quentin Tarantino taking over would be perfect.
Oh, it would be amazing. Oh, my heavens, please, Paramount, allow it to happen.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Yes.
Samuel Jackson, Michael Madsen, bring them on board. I'm all for that.
Oh, my gosh. How much money would it make? It would make all of the money.
Oh, gosh, wouldn't it be cool, too, to get Uma Thurman in there somehow?
Oh, my gosh. As Uhura? Oh, heck yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Or something as some admiral, and she's...
Even just like a small walk-on part or something, especially if you came in with her Kill Bill yellow jumpsuit on, a la Bruce Lee. Just walk in there with a samurai sword.
Oh, that would be awesome.
They accidentally beamed her on board or something. Oh, wait.
Yeah, no, get her off. Get her off. She ruins things. Oh, my God. Oh, yes. Please.
Man. Yeah. Oh, it's...
Please. Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta as two interstellar hitmen.
You can't go wrong with Tarantino. I mean, he's never put out a bad movie. And, I mean, Reservoir Dogs is one of my favorite ones. Hateful Eight was, the most recent, and
Django Unchained.
Django,
it was a good freaking movie. That was a good movie.
Pulp Fiction. I mean, come on. I mean, the guy's just.
Yeah, it needs to happen. Please, Paramount, make this happen.
Yep, for sure. Bring it on.
All right. Well, from Star Trek to Star Wars. What
Solo.
Do we have in Star Wars news? Solo. Han Solo movie. What is your take on some of the early reports that this movie's gonna suck?
You know what? They said the same thing about Rogue One. Rogue One was a fantastic movie, I thought. So I mean, so early reports say it's going to suck. Well, we have Ron Howard now taking over the directorial role. Ron Howard's
True.
not gonna. He's not gonna say. He's just not gonna pick up where the old director left off, and he's not gonna. It's not gonna suck. So
Right.
I mean, he's gonna put out quality.
But you're right. Everybody, when they did reshoots for Rogue One, everyone was freaking out. Oh no, this is going to be the movie that it's going to be ruined. It's going to be horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally, Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars movie. It's
better than Empire, man. I mean,
it's a
come on.
tad better than Empire.
I don't know about that. I disagree.
Okay, let's put it this way. It's close.
It's close. I'll say that it's close.
It's close, but it was a great movie. It
Yeah,
made me feel like a little kid again. So it was brilliant. So yeah, the early reports are that this movie's just doomed. That the guy playing Han Solo can't act.
Well, I mean, give it a chance. You know, I mean,
I
people
know.
just got to give it a chance. I mean, you can't judge a movie just off of reports. I mean,
Right.
who would they get it from? Some source, you know, the camera gaffer or something had a bad day,
Right.
and he's, this movie's gonna suck.
It reminds me of that scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off where it's like, yeah, my brother's friend's kid brother's girlfriend said that she heard from a
that Ferris
kid.
has syphilis, and he's
Yeah.
Right.
And you threw me with the whole syphilis comment. Sorry. But that's what it is. It's all unsubstantiated reports, and it's like,
give it a chance.
yeah, once the credits start rolling
Then people
and
can-
it's
can
over, then
form
we can
an
be like,
opinion.
okay, yeah, that movie sucked, or this movie was absolutely amazing.
You know, I'm stoked by it though. I mean, it's already has. I mean, it's already going to be a great cast. I mean, we're finally
Yeah.
going to get the origin story of Lando and Han.
Right, we actually get to see the Kessel Run apparently,
Yeah, which has been talked about. and
which
just by
yeah,
everybody.
which is I think is kind of cool. We get to see how that all happens.
I mean, it's the movie's going to have Emilia Clarke, Donald Glover, who I love. Donald Glover, he's a great
Mm-hmm.
actor. Woody Harrelson's in it.
Which is going to be cool, and they have not announced who he is playing yet.
His character's name is Beckett. In the
Right,
movie,
and that's it.
But I don't know. We
But they
have no
don't-
backstory on him or whatever.
Right, they haven't
so-
said anything about who he is, where he comes from, you know, what he's doing. I mean, I don't care, put Emilia Clarke in anything.
You know who else is going to be in this movie too? Is Warwick Davis.
Well, that's like saying it's going to be a Star Wars movie.
Well, yeah, I mean he's in all, but we got Warwick Davis, Clint Howard, Paul Bettany from the Avengers.
Really?
Yeah, Tandy Newton's going to be in it.
Oh, that's interesting.
This is going to be a really cool movie. I think. People are
You know
gonna
what?
get blown
I
away.
honestly, I hold out a lot of hope for it. And yeah, and I don't like listening to the rumors and all of this unsubstantiated stuff. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. It may not be the best Star Wars movie, but you know, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And for those of you that are listening, I didn't think the prequels were as bad as everybody says either.
No, well, the first one sucked, but
Well, they're not going to be a
the
movie
second
that I'm
and
going to
third.
sit down and be my first choice to watch, but
Yeah,
I can sit through them and enjoy the heck out of them.
the release date for Star Wars May 25th, and it's not going to be May the 4th.
Sorry,
So,
everybody.
That's going to be a bummer. But one thing I did hear, and this is kind of interesting, is that since The Last Jedi tanked so bad in China, China is dropping Star Wars from the title.
Oh, really?
Yes. They're just calling it Solo.
You know, I didn't know about that, but I did read an article on why The Last Jedi kind of tanked over there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because they don't have a Star Wars history.
Yeah.
They didn't. I guess they didn't get the original trilogy. They didn't get the prequels. They didn't get The Force Awakens. So it's like, here's this movie,
Right.
and it's taking place immediately following the events of the last movie that you didn't see.
Well,
So I can kind of see why it would
I don't know.
tank.
I mean, hey, if they can follow a Quentin Tarantino movie, why can't they follow the Star Wars movies? That doesn't make any sense to me. But
no,
hey, I mean, look, let's form the opinion when the movie comes out. But I think it's going to be great. It's got a great cast. Ron Howard's in it. I mean, I'm probably the
Yeah.
one person on this planet who enjoyed Willow, the movie, The Willow.
Oh, Willow was great.
I loved Willow. And okay, so there's two people on this planet who love.
I did. I loved Willow.
But I thought, look, Ron Howard can do sci-fi. Apollo 13. Another
Apollo
space
13 was
movie.
really good. I mean, he can do thrillers. I think he was a good choice to come in and to helm this. It gave me a lot of hope. And I just, at the end of the day, I'm going to hold out my judgment until we go and see it, and the credits are rolling before I say, oh yeah, this movie was not good. But I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised, where it's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, I think so too, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So Solo comes out, and from no George Lucas there, and also too is no George Lucas will be on. He won't be credited for the Indiana Jones 5. He's completely removed from the storyline.
Well, I know he's not. I know he had ideas for it, but it really made me happy to hear that he wasn't going to be involved.
Yeah.
And I know he's really mad at all that. I know he was totally mad because he had story ideas for Star Wars, and he was like, "Hey, I've got all these ideas," and they were kind of like, "Shh, go roll in your money."
You know what I'd like for them to do for Indy 5, which, by the way, it's been announced Spielberg's going to begin shooting that in 2019 when Harrison Ford is a spry 77-year-old.
Ooh.
But you know what I would love for them? There's not going to be a Mutt Lange, which is great. No Shia LaBeouf. Okay, sorry, but
I just hope we, hey, what happened to that other guy? Well, he was, I shot him. I would love that.
Okay, that would be cool. But no, I would love for them to tie. I mean, look, this is going to be the last one, and please don't reboot the character either with somebody new. But
yeah, let's let him go out with some dignity.
I want them to go back. They need to tie in. They need to address the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark with this one. I think they need to go back to the religious aspect when they opened up the Ark of the Covenant and there was nothing in it. What happened to the Ten Commandments? Where are those? Did they, what happened? Where'd they go? So I think they need to address that somehow. I think they, maybe,
that would be interesting as long as it's not aliens. Yeah, I do.
So bad.
Oh, I know.
So bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. They weren't aliens. They were interdimensional beings. Thank you, George.
Regardless, it was horrible.
Yeah, I hope that they do go back to the religious, him going after religious artifact, and let's just have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Make it Raiders of the Lost Ark. Come on.
Well, I don't know how much Raiders you're going to get with a 77-year-old Indiana Jones, but you never know.
It's true.
They can do amazing camera work when the camera's 50 feet away, and
right.
Look, there's Harrison Ford.
As long as he's not in a wheelchair.
Right. Yes.
But I think it's going to be a ton of fun. I think it will give him a dignified exit.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you. Let's just not put anybody in there. And I know the rumor was that they were going to bring Chris Pratt in.
Yeah.
And that Chris Pratt was going to kind of take over the role. And as much as I love Chris Pratt, as much as a good job he would probably do, I agree. Let's just let it go off.
I think the world has too much Chris Pratt, to be honest with you. I mean, you can go. Look, Hollywood has a thing where you ride the hottest actor.
True.
You get so much, and it burns the actor out, and then that's why they have such short shelf lives. It's like, get somebody new in there.
Yeah,
but don't reboot the character. Please don't.
No,
just be done with it.
No, let it go and come up with an original idea.
Same thing with Wolverine. Just let the character go. Don't reboot the character. Don't bring in somebody new. Please don't.
Well, they're gonna though. They're gonna because he's a moneymaker.
Well, yeah, he's a moneymaker, but who else are you going to get to play the part that's even better? Who can do it?
Tom Hardy, but he's Venom, he's out.
Tom Hardy's well. Yeah, that's true.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. They're going to reboot it. They're going to bring him back because now that Disney owns Marvel, or owns 20th Century Fox, we get all the X-Men characters.
Although Hugh Jackman did say that if they put Wolverine in Deadpool, he would come back to play Wolverine. Just be in a Deadpool movie.
And I believe I hear a Brinks truck, a fleet of Brinks trucks backing up into it. Oh, pay the man. Right,
come on.
Give him the blank check.
Yes.
Let him fill it out. To do one with my heavens, yes, please.
That'd be awesome. Can you imagine that movie? Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine,
that movie would be the
Ryan
bomb,
Reynolds
dude.
and Deadpool. That would just
and especially after getting a true Wolverine.
Oh, that movie was so good.
I think you give him with Deadpool. Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Logan was nominated for adapted screenplay. I think it's time for these movies to start getting their due, man.
Oh, I agree.
You know, and it's time for the female directors to start getting their due. It's time for the females in general. Let's pay them equal pay. Let's get them out there. I mean, come on. I mean,
It's time.
It's time. Let's stop screwing around and let's get some fresh faces and new blood in there.
Yeah, I agree with that. It needs to happen. But then again, we've talked about this before, but I think that's kind of where the MTV Movie Awards are kind of important in that aspect. Because it is the people, it's us, the fans, that get to vote on what wins. And they do have the cool categories, but I agree with you. It's time for the Academy Awards to update. Yeah. It's not 1935 anymore.
This is the 90th Academy Awards, so 90 years.
Yeah, it's time to change some stuff.
Process. They need to update. I mean, Hollywood's changing right now. It's changing. I mean, all the power people in Hollywood are gone.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to update. They need to go with the times. And you know, it sucks that they couldn't make it happen for this one.
Right.
But if they're going to start making changes, they need to make it happen.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. We need the change.
Let's put some movies in there that people actually enjoyed seeing instead of
well,
The Shape
actually,
of Water.
not just enjoyed seeing, actually went to see.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if Wonder Woman was in here, I'd be pumped to watch the Academy Awards.
Oh,
just
heck
to see
yeah!
if it would win.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you'd get a lot more. You get a lot more viewership. You'd get, you know, who cares if it's 4 hours long? I enjoyed it when 4 hours long as a kid because they had a lot of my favorite movies in there.
Well, and it was entertaining, and yeah, it wasn't political. It was. Here,
well, it's always been political.
It's been to a certain degree, but not like it is today, where I don't even want to hear your speech because I know you're going to go up there and it's going to be
right.
This person's bad, and it's just kind of like I want to be entertained. That's the point.
I want to go back to the day when they had Alan Ladd hosting it, or Johnny Carson, or even Billy Crystal. I thought Billy Crystal was a great host. Ellen DeGeneres. Hugh Jackman was a great host, for crying out loud. I mean, that guy was phenomenal. So, I mean, let's get some fresh faces in there.
Right. You guys are in the entertainment industry. Entertain us.
Right.
If I want to watch politics, I'll turn on CNN and you know, Fox, whatever.
The Academy can set the tone. I mean, for Hollywood as far as bringing originality back, and they need to do that.
Right.
And you know, let's. I mean, there's some originality. Shape of Water, Lady Bird. You know, okay, but I mean, it's a great start. It's a great start.
It is a great start. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next year in 2019. But yeah, it's high time for some changes to be made.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would love to be, you know, to hear them say no political messages. Just we're here to entertain. We're here to celebrate entertainment, and let's just keep that by the wayside.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that part of it sucks.
Mm-hmm. So here we are, towards the end of second episode.
The ending of episode 2.
Yeah. So it was a great time. It was a lot of fun, and
it was.
By the time, next week, we weren't going to get the Academy Awards for another month.
Right, but we will have some exciting things to talk about. There's still a ton of movies that are coming out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That we haven't touched on, and we will do so next week.
We're gonna touch them.
Oh, we're gonna touch them.
We're gonna
hard.
reach out and we're gonna touch them.
It's gonna get uncomfortable. That's how hard we're gonna touch them.
Right.
But that'll be next time.
That's right. So as always, I'm Jeff.
And I am Dave.
Thanks for joining us, and tune in next week.
We'll see you. Bye.
Bye.